Let's solve problems which are based on the Poisson's bracket. So first problem is show that Poisson's bracket is invariant under canonical transformation. So you know the canonical transformation is the transformation of the coordinate QP to capital QP. So if Poisson's bracket is invariant under this canonical transformation, then suppose I am having two functions f and g. So Poisson's bracket of this f and g with respect to q and p will be equals to Poisson's bracket of f and g with respect to capital Q and capital P. So we have to show these two Poisson's brackets are equal. Now let's take LHS of this equation, and Poisson's bracket for this Fg with respect to Q and P is written as summation over I dou F upon dou Qi dou G upon dou Pi minus dou F upon dou Pi dou G upon dou Qi. This is the definition of Poisson's bracket. Now, if small q and small p are the function of capital Q and capital P, this means I can write q as a function of capital Q and P, and also P is a function of capital Q and capital P. So if this is the case, then here we have taken derivative with respect to old coordinates. So one of these will be function of both capital Q and capital P, and we have to here replace this capital G with respect to capital Q and capital P. Therefore, here instead of only this derivative with respect to Pi, that is old momentum, we have to take it with respect to both of this derivative, since P is function of both of this derivative. So this Poisson's bracket is changed to PQP. It is changed to, now we will keep this both first terms constant, and we will just take these two variables as a function of capital Q and capital P. So here we will get summation over I, first term as it is, that is dou F upon dou Qi. Now this G, it will be function of Q and P both. That means instead of this, we will have the G as a product of Q and P, or we have to take this derivative with respect to both capital P and capital Q. So here we have to replace this as dou Qk upon dou G. Here there is dou G. So this dou G will be with respect to Qk, and this Q will be function of P. So dou Qk upon this dou Pi plus, now we introduce Q, let's introduce capital P. So we will get dou G upon dou capital Pk dou capital Pk upon dou capital Pk. So here summation will be with respect to I as well as with respect to K. Similar for this term, we will keep this as it is, that is minus dou F upon dou Pi as it is. Now let's introduce this G as, here we taken with respect to Qk. Now let's take with respect to Pk, that is dou G upon dou capital Qk. Now this is with respect to small q. So similar to this, just instead of P, just replace it by Q. So we will get dou G upon dou capital QK into dou QK. Now here instead of dou P, we will have dou QI, since here there is dou QI, plus same. Now here in textbook there is mistake. You have to make this correction. So here no PK, here there is PI. Please make this correction. This is mistake in textbook. You have to make this correction. So here this is correction, and now we will get here instead of P, we will have just Q in this term, that is dou G upon dou capital PK into dou capital PK upon dou QI. So this is the derivative, since P, Q and P are both function of capital Q and capital P. Now we will multiply by bracket to each term. So let's multiply summation over IK outside. Now we will get here dou F upon dou QI dou G upon dou QK into dou QK upon dou PI plus dou F upon dou QI dou G upon dou PK dou PK upon dou PI minus, let's multiply inside with minus sign. So we will get here minus dou F upon dou PI dou G upon dou QK into dou QK upon dou QI minus dou F upon dou PI dou G upon dou PK and dou PK upon dou QI. This is small pi, keep it in mind, this is not capital. So now what we will do, we will take these terms common. So this will be taken common from these two terms. Here there is negative sign, and from this we will take these two terms common, and I will write this as summation over IK. Let's take first dou G upon dou QK common. So dou G upon dou QK common, in bracket what will remain, dou F upon dou QI into dou QK upon dou PI minus this, that is dou F upon dou PI into dou QK upon dou QI. And second term will be, I will write plus. Now from second term we will take dou G upon dou PK common. So dou G upon, this is normal bracket, keep it in mind, not Poisson's bracket. So dou G upon dou PK common, in bracket what is remaining, dou F upon dou QI into dou capital PK upon dou PI, this is small, minus these two terms, that is dou F upon dou PI into dou PK upon dou QI. And here now if you observe these terms which are I am going to underline, these are nothing but this term is Poisson's bracket of FQK with respect to small q and small p, and this is Poisson's bracket of FPK with respect to small q and small p. So we can write this as summation over I Now here I is gone here, so just summation over K into this as it is dou G upon dou QK into Poisson's bracket of capital F QK with respect to Q and P plus this dou G upon dou PK as it is into Poisson's bracket. This is Poisson's bracket of F PK with respect to Q and P. Let me call this as equation 41. Now here instead of capital F we will substitute capital Q1 and instead of capital G we will put F, and I will rewrite this equation after that substitution. So after substitution of F as Q1 and G as F in equation 41 comes to be this way. So you have to solve this by your own by substitution. Now let's solve this Poisson's bracket. So we will get here summation K in bracket this dou F upon dou QK as it is. Now this Poisson's bracket is nothing but dou Q1 upon dou Qi into dou Qk upon dou Pi minus dou Q1 upon dou Pi into dou Qk upon dou Qi. Now let's write second term plus dou F upon dou Pk as it is in bracket. This Poisson's bracket will be dou Q1 upon dou Qi. Here second is dou Pk upon dou Pi minus dou Q1 upon dou Pi into dou Pk upon dou Qi. So this is the another Poisson's bracket. Here instead of I we will use same variable K. So here there will be K in each term. Now if you observe this derivative will be 0. Then this derivative is also 0. Also this derivative is 0. But if you observe this derivative is 1 and this derivative is delta 1 of K. So only this term is non-zero. So we will get here dou F upon dou Pk. This derivative is 1 and this derivative is delta 1K according to Kronecker delta. Now you know Kronecker delta. So this summation over K as it is. Now here if we put when 1 is equal to K, Kronecker delta 1K will be 1. Therefore we will get Q1 with F Poisson's bracket with respect to PQ will be, now summation will go off and this will be dou F upon dou Pk. Let me call this as equation 42. Similarly, we will put instead of F P1 and instead of G we will put F in equation 41. So after this substitution in equation 41, that is this equation. So put in this equation instead of F P1 and instead of G F, you will get here Poisson's bracket. Instead of F we have to put P1 and instead of G we have to put F in equation 41. So this will be P1 and F with respect to QP, this is Poisson's bracket, will be equals to summation over K dou F upon dou QK into capital P1 and QK with respect to Q and P plus dou F upon dou Pk with respect to capital P1 and capital Pk with respect to Q and P. Again, in this way, you have to solve this Poisson's bracket. So after solving this Poisson's bracket, similarly 3 terms will become 0. You have to solve this by your own. I am not going to solve this. Now this is easy. So I expect that you should solve this. Therefore, after solving these 2 Poisson's bracket and cancelling the terms for which derivatives are 0, we will only left with summation minus summation over k dou F upon dou Qk delta 1 k. Again, when similarly when 1 is equal to k, here we should have 1 since 1 is replaced, or k instead of k we are putting 1. Here there is 1. Similarly here also we will put 1 equals to k. So delta 1 k will be 1. This you know. So if we put here, we will get Poisson's bracket of P1 and F will be equals to minus. Now this is 1 and here we will left with dou F upon dou. Instead of k you have to take 1, that is dou Q1. Let me call this as equation number 43. So here we got capital Q1 and F Poisson's bracket as dou F upon dou P1. So from this, if I exchange these positions, you know that Poisson's bracket is anti-commutative, means we will get negative sign. So I will exchange these two and I will write that negative sign on RHS. We will get Poisson's bracket of F and Q1 as minus dou F upon dou P1. Let's say this as equation number 44, and similarly from this equation, that is Poisson's bracket of P1 with capital F equals to, it is minus dou F upon dou Q1. From this equation we will get, now since there is negative sign, take this negative sign here and absorb it inside. You can exchange these positions since Poisson's bracket is anti-commutative. So we will get here F and P1's Poisson's bracket equals to dou F upon dou Q1, equation number 45. So if we put equation 44 and 45 in equation number 41, if we substitute these two equations in equation number 41, we will get here Poisson's bracket of F comma G with respect to Q and K equals to summation over K. Let's substitute this 44 and 45 in 41. So after this substitution, we will get here minus dou G upon dou Qk dou F upon dou Pk plus dou G upon dou Pk dou F upon dou Qk. And if you observe this is first term and this is second term. So this is nothing but the Poisson's bracket of capital F and capital G with respect to Q, capital Q and capital P. Hence, you can see here these both Poisson's brackets are equal and we have to show this only. So we have proved that these both Poisson's bracket are equal. This means Poisson bracket is invariant under canonical transformation. Hence, proof of problem number 6. So next problem is, if capital F and capital G are function of Q and P, then we have to show that these 4 equations. So if you observe here, this is minus of delta KL. So if you observe this all four, this is very similar with elementary Poisson's bracket. And we have already discussed these types of identities in the topic which is known as elementary Poisson's bracket. There is small change over here. So there is F instead of Q and P, and these are same. This we have already proved, or you can prove by your own, since we have proved this for elementary Poisson's bracket. So this problem is exactly similar with the identities that we have already proved in our previous lecture, which was titled as elementary Poisson's bracket. So this problem you have to do by your own. I am not going to solve this because similar type of proof we have already did one time in our elementary Poisson's bracket lecture. So please solve this by your own. It is easy. I hope you can solve this. Next problem is problem number 8. If H is Hamiltonian, then obtain Hamilton's equation of motion in terms of Poisson's bracket notation. So if H is Hamiltonian, then Poisson's bracket of Q with H with respect to Q and P according to definition of Poisson's bracket is written as dou Q upon dou Qk into dou H upon dou Pk minus dou Q upon dou Pk into dou H upon dou Qk. Now, if you observe here, derivative in this second term of Q with respect to P will be 0. That means these terms become 0 and we left with summation over K dou Q upon dou Qk into dou H upon dou Pk. And this is nothing but the Kronecker delta, which is known as, or this derivative, sorry, not Kronecker delta, this derivative is 1 because derivative of Q with respect to Q is 1. So we left with dou H upon dou P. Summation will be gone. So here commutative bracket of H and Q is dou H upon dou P. Let's say this as equation 46. So in this similar way, if you find commutative bracket of P with H with respect to Q and P, please solve this by your own in this way. If you solve this, you will get here minus dou H upon dou P, and let me call this as equation number 47. Solve this bracket by your own. It is easy. You are familiar with Poisson's bracket now, so you should able to solve this. But we know that in chapter 4 we have discussed Hamilton's equation of motion, which are dou H upon dou Q is equals to minus P dot, and second Hamilton's equation is dou H upon dou P is equal to Q dot. Let's say equation number 48. So by comparing this 46 and 47 with this 48, so if you compare these two equations, here dou H upon dou Q, this is dou Q. So here this dou H upon dou Q is compare, that means these two terms are equal, then this can be equal. So we can write this as Poisson's bracket of P with H will be P dot. Similarly for these two, dou H upon dou P, these both sides are equal, so we can write this as also equal. So dou H upon commutative bracket of Q and H will be equal to Q dot. So these are the Poisson's bracket in terms of Hamilton's equation, or Hamilton's equations in terms of Poisson's bracket notation. Now next problem is that prove that if U and V are constant of motion, then commutative bracket, Poisson's bracket of u and v is also constant of motion. So to prove this, the Jacobi identity for u, v and h. So we will write Jacobi identity in terms of u, v and h. So if you write this Jacobi's identity in terms of these three variables or functions, it will be Poisson's bracket of u with Poisson's bracket of, first I will write Jacobi's identity for standard form. For standard form it was this plus Poisson's bracket of v with Poisson's bracket of w and u plus Poisson's bracket of w with Poisson's bracket of u and v. This is equals to 0. Now instead of w we are going to have only h. So we will put w equal to h here so that we will get here, just replace everywhere w by h. So this will be the Jacobi identity in terms of u, v and h. So we are going to use this Jacobi identity in terms of u, v and h. So this is Jacobi identity in terms of u, v and h. Now since they have told us that u and v are constant, this means wherever u and v is constant, so Poisson's bracket of this constant with any variable is 0. This you know, right? So here if you observe the first term, this is Poisson's bracket with constant term v and h, means this is 0. Similarly, Poisson's bracket of h with constant term u, that means this term is also 0, and we left only with these terms. So we will get here Poisson's bracket of h with Poisson's bracket of u and v is equal to 0. Now since again u and v are constant, its Poisson's bracket will be 0. Since u and v are the constant of motion, means this is also constant. So this bracket is constant. So we can say that Poisson's bracket of u and v is also some constant. And again Poisson's bracket of any variable with constant is 0. By this identity, this will become equal to 0. Hence we can say that this motion, that Poisson's bracket of u and v is constant with respect to motion. Since this Poisson's bracket is 0 and h is Hamilton, means this Poisson's bracket becomes constant. Hence Poisson's bracket of u and v is constant of motion, which is proof for our problem number 9. Last problem is evaluate these 4 Poisson's bracket where jx and jy are x and y component of angular momentum and px and py are x and y components of linear momentum. Means j denotes angular momentum and p denotes linear momentum. So definition of angular momentum, j bar is taken as cross product of r bar with p bar, where r is a position vector which is given by x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap. This is discussed in SYBSC. You have already studied this definition. So here r bar is position vector and p bar is momentum vector, which is given by px I cap plus py j cap plus pz k cap. So here if we took this cross product of any two vector is written as determinant of those two vector. So if we wrote determinant of this two vector, it is written as I cap j cap k cap. Now determinant of r bar and p bar is written as, first write coefficient of r, components of r, that is ijk components of r, which are x, y and z. And in last row you have to write components of ijk for p bar, which are px, py and pz. Now let's solve this determinant. You will get I cap into y pz minus z py minus j cap into x pz minus z px plus k cap into x py minus y px. So this term we will absorb negative sign over here, and instead of this term we will get z px minus x pz. So the x component of angular momentum, that is jx, is given by this term. This term will give us y component of j, and this term will give us z component of j. So x component of j is jx, which is given by y pz minus z py. Then y component of j is given by z px minus x pz, and third z component of j is given by x py minus y px. So we are going to need this, since in our problem they have asked us the Poisson's bracket of all these component with px, py and pz. So here let's prove first identity. They have asked us to prove that Poisson's bracket of j with px, ask us to calculate this component. So to calculate this component we will use equation number 36, which was Poisson's bracket of u and pl is equals to dou u upon dou ql. Means Poisson's bracket of any variable u with momentum will be dou by dou of that position coordinate into that variable. So here instead of u we will put jx, and instead of p we will put px. So we will use here, instead of u, here we will have now jx, and instead of ql now we are having here position coordinate of x, that is ql will be now x, because p is component of px is a momentum component of along x axis. So x component of momentum, therefore this is written as dou jx upon dou x. Now you know jx, dou by dou x, let's put jx. Jx is y pz minus z py, and if you calculate this derivative with respect to z, it is 0 since there is no x. This means this is equal to 0. So for first Poisson's bracket, jx and px comes to be 0. Similarly we will calculate second, that is jx py. Now for jx py, u is equals to jx and ql will be y. So here we will get Poisson's bracket of jx with py is equals to dou j, here there is jy, not jy, jx itself. So we will get dou by dou y of jx. Let's put jx. So we will get dou by dou y of jx is y pz minus z py, and here derivative of y is 1, pz as it is, and derivative of second term is 0 since there is no y. So we got here Poisson's bracket of jx with py is equal to pz. Similarly for third one, Poisson's bracket of jy with px. So again here u is equals to jy and QL will be here now x. So instead of this Poisson's bracket of jy px, we will use dou by dou x of jy. Now what is jy? Dou by dou x of z px minus x pz. Now here also derivative is with respect to x. So this term's derivative will be 0 since no x. Here derivative of x is 1 and only minus pz will remain. So we got Poisson's bracket of jy and px as minus pz. Now we have to solve last Poisson's bracket which is jx and jy. Now to find this Poisson's bracket we have to use definition of Poisson's bracket, that is summation over I jx upon dou jx upon dou qk dou jy upon dou pk minus dou jx upon dou pk into dou jy upon dou qk. So this is definition of Poisson's bracket. Now here our k will range from 1 to 3 since it is three-dimensional system, that is x, y and z, that is 3 component. So here q will run from q1, q2, q3 and p will have p1, p2, p3. So our q1 is x, q2 is y and q3 is z, that is position coordinate, and for momentum, that is p1, we will have px, p2 will be py and p3 will be pz. So here we will have 3 corresponding terms. So let me write these 3 corresponding terms. So Poisson's bracket of jx and jy will be, first we will write for 1, means here there is k, means k will have value 1. So here first we will get dou jx upon dou x into dou jy upon dou px minus dou jx upon dou px dou jy upon dou x. So this is first term plus, now second we will put instead of q, q2, y and instead of p we will put py. So here we will get dou jx upon dou y into dou jy upon dou py minus dou jx upon dou py into dou jy upon dou y. Then third term will be for z, that is dou jx upon dou z into dou jy upon dou pz minus dou jx upon dou pz and dou jy upon dou z. Now we already have calculated jx, jy and jz as, so for this jx, jy, jz, the term from this equation which are dou jx upon dou x and dou jx upon dou px are 0, and another 2 terms, that is dou jy upon dou py and dou jy upon dou y equals to 0. If you find these 4 derivatives, all these 4 derivatives will be 0 because there are no terms with respect to those derivatives. So if we put those derivatives as 0, we will only left with this last term because these 4 terms, this one and these 2 terms according to this are 0. So here we will only left with Poisson's bracket of jx and jy equals to dou jx upon dou z, dou jy upon dou pz minus dou jx upon dou pz dou jy upon dou z. Let's find this derivative. Dou by dou z of jx is y pz minus z py. So this derivative will be minus py since this derivative is 0 and derivative of z is 1. And another derivative is dou by dou pz of jy. Jy is z px minus x pz. So this derivative will be only minus x since first term is constant with respect to pz and here derivative of pz is 1. We will left with minus x. So these are derivative of dou jx with respect to dou z and dou jy with respect to dou pz. Let's put this in commutative bracket of jx and jy. We will get here minus py into minus x minus, this is multiplication, minus dou jx upon dou pz is, now if you find this derivative dou jx upon dou pz, so this is dou jx, its derivative with respect to pz will be only y and also dou jy upon dou z, that is derivative of y with respect to z will be px. So second term is y into px if you found this derivative. So here we will get this derivative as x py minus y px, and if you observe this is nothing but jz. This means we got Poisson's bracket of jx with jy as jz. Means here if you maintain cyclic order, jx, jy Poisson's bracket is jz. So this is the proof for last problem, and here we are end up with our 5th chapter as well as syllabus. So we have covered our all 5 chapters. So this is end of our syllabus.